Finally playing now. They did not have. They were doing other things the whole time.
Why is it so hard?
Papaya. Now you clean your room yet?
What?
Now did you clean your room?
Why don't I know? What did you say?
No, nothing. I'm talking to Matt. You just play. I'm talking to Matt.
Okay.
You can turn down the volume. Oh. So I got all my things exported, right? Now mock-ups are done.
I can't.
Sorry, bye. Oh heck no. Oh, I did not do it right on this one. Okay. Okay, I gotta fix something. The next one. Oh, actually, it would be faster. I fixed it in the laptop, but not this one. That's right. See.
Why is the jump rope broken? Tita, the jump rope is broken.
Oh.
See? It's broken.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's jumping for no
Yes.
reason.
What you getting? No. The name first. Yes. That's awesome. There.
Okay, I'm so good. I'm good.
Okay. Let's start over.
Hey, they're cheating!
Two Ks.
Tita,
Yeah.
that's broken. Everyone's jumping for no reason, only for the holes.
Oh.
See?
Yeah.
The jump rope's broken.
Oh yeah. I need to put this.
I'm cheating.
The designs are here, right? Okay.
Tita, I'm cheating.
Okay. Cool, Cece. Why are you cheating? Don't cheat.
Yeah?
Don't cheat, Cece. You're not nice.
No, please. I dare you to turn that on. Please don't turn on that. I dare you to turn on that. I did it. Na 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 na. No, the jump rope's faster.
Whoa. You got 6 minutes.
Okay.
I was asking. So fast.
Hello. I want to play different. Oh wait, I don't mean different game. I mean Zoom. Tita, I'm gonna play different game in this.
Okay.
Why can't I press it?
You trying?
Game. I'm gonna play. Hey!
It's done. Let me know if it's in my sport in the correct order.
Is it this one?
Oh. What's this one?
I'm gonna do this one.
Hold down.
Tita, I'm gonna play RP.
Okay. Something's not right. Why this? Why?
I disappeared into a different world.
This is fine. This is not right.
Ooh, it's done.
For some reason, am I going crazy? Something doesn't make sense. Refresh. Ugh. This doesn't make sense. It's supposed to be. Yes. It's fine. The only thing that's messed up is this. So, we hold on, so annoying. Designs. Wait, these are the same one. Are you serious?
Hey, let me in the car.
You got two of the same ones?
Tita, look.
So cute. overruled something.
Okay, I can't drive anywhere.
Yeah, seriously.
Why am I even here if I can't even drive?
That's too bad. Okay, this one does the same thing.
I like that part of you better. The you, Colonel Seven Mario. I'm gonna challenge me close. Mario.
I'm confused.
Doug Bowser. Doug Bowser.
So what's that?
What do you want? Why is there Grimace here? I don't like a Grimace shake.
I don't know Hawkins.
You don't like the Grimace shake. No.
I'm so annoyed right now. I can't stand this. What is he saying? So basically, you want to Alexa,
Alexa, stop.
you see?
15 minutes still. There you go, Kuya. I want to sleep. I'm already on the. What's that remote? He's right here. On TikTok. Does it work with you?
Yeah. Okay.
I think I'm ready to do a couple of today today.
Maybe. Yes, you can.
Okay? Let's try.
Trash, it's trash. We're gonna finish this today, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So let's put it in the trash down there.
Okay. TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try what our house.
Stressing me out. This is PMs. I'll make this. Same time. I need this. I need this. This one. Must go downstairs? Where is he?
Oh, he's in
Is it
he's
his room?
in his room probably. I want to watch Play Out here. At the same time, I could do the work.
Oh, this is killing me.
This is funny. Now I see what you're working on, Tita. Look at all this you're working on. Working on a lot. Claire's playing Capture the Flag.
Yeah,
Now I
let's
get to
play
see
like
what
this
it's
one.
about.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll make this one. It's extra.
I did so good on it.
Okay. So basically.
I like all of it. I want all of it.
1, 2,
Yeah.
3,
Kuya's
6,
playing it. The game.
6, 7, 5.
What is he playing? It doesn't look like it's Capture the Flag anymore. It's just gun type. With guns.
Just watch it. I'm missing one. Oh, I'm going crazy. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. I understand now. I understand now. I'm confusing myself. This is crazy. I'm so confused.
Oh, here it is. Ah! Tita, look how good I'm going. I'm done.
This way. You can't see nothing. You do it. You
I
done?
don't want, yeah, I'm done.
CC's word? You want it at the bottom like that? You sure? It's too low anyway. It can't be that low.
Yeah, like
You
that?
put it off.
No, you're doing it. The
You
candy.
here?
Oh, yeah, right there, right there. Oh, you saw that one?
Hold on. Let me see that. Are you sure you want this font? You can change your font right here. Change it. Something else. You make it bigger.
Oh, man.
Right? Different one. Or CC word around.
No.
Look at your channel. Let me see what it looks like.
Canva, you too, come.
Yeah. See. I think that's word. Who changed it? Is
No
it
one.
Tina's word the whole time?
Yeah, what's the Dina one? You forgot?
Yeah, I forgot. It's so cute. You want Tina's word?
No.
Capital. Your name is capital. And do this. There. When the word could be W, capital W too.
Thank you.
You want to do capital W?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
So we're gonna do this one as well. Hold on. Oh, it's there. Let's go. I'm going crazy. Everything's here. Oh my goodness. I'm really going crazy. Okay.
Why are you going crazy
I don't
today?
know. I'm going crazy. And we had an extra on the design. I just found now. So it's the same.
Where is it? Effects. Yeah. Yeah, like that.
Yes. I'm telling you, something's wrong.
Full effect,
Something doesn't
visibility.
make sense. I don't want to lose a design just because. I go back to
Curve.
final.
Tita, like this? Look. Then I'm moving the. I'm making a curve.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, what's this one?
Like that.
Oh yeah.
That's good. That's beautiful.
No shading like that though. It's gonna mess up with this. You see the back? I don't like that.
Oh, I'm
Wait,
trying
that's
to
gonna
make it
happen, yeah.
glowing. Then I'm making it glow.
It might potentially be like this though. I'm not sure. So you're gonna do a different color glow.
This one. What color did you do it?
Black. That's why.
Oh, that's why you had it.
Yeah.
Like this color?
Maybe.
Which black?
Do pink. Do pink is your favorite color.
You did this?
Yeah. Do the effect. Let me see. I just don't like to use that one too much because I just don't want to waste this and then it breaks. If it breaks, probably bigger.
That's good.
Bigger.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, effects could be a little more round. Oh no! Oops, I messed up. I meant this one here.
Hey,
My legs are killing me.
like that? Huh?
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah.
I'm missing one small image right there.
Oh.
Right? Missing out.
Let's see. I just saw something so cute. Look at that. He's at the beach. Tita.
Uh-huh.
Oh. There's more.
Yeah, wasting my time.
Yeah. Oh wait, Tita, this one fits. This one fits. Look, it fits.
Aww.
It fits.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Smaller though, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, that's smaller. Like that.
Mm.
Yeah, it's complete.
Let me see. I feel like. How about this area here? Maybe we need a little baby one right here, right? This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my! It's actually windows.
Bella.
Like that. Like that, Tita.
Where?
Look.
Oh. Yeah. Cool. Sign in. Sign in. Yes. Okay, I was also working on Tita Valerie's design.
I'm done.
Done.
I'm waiting for mine.
Alright, let's do that then. Let's see how long this was this one. This one is about.
Oh, that's fake recording. I want to do fake recording again.
Here you are.
No,
Go ahead and say hi.
no, Tita. I want it on.
Where's your face?
Hey, you're not having me in the camera. Put me in the camera. Say hi.
Say hi.
Hi. You remember us? Wait, you remember us?
Okay. You
I'm done.
do that.
I want to do something here. I'm just gonna play it for a little bit. I don't really care. Hey.
Tell our family about yourself a little bit more.
What is this? I want to show them if I can.
Oh yeah, I can't really.
They my brother Kuya, you already know him because you're my family member. What is this? Pages.
They can't see that.
Yay! Yeah, I know
What are
that.
they gonna do with design?
Yeah. He added something funny, so it's like that. What is this? Tita, should we surprise Kuya? Tita, should we surprise Kuya for this? Cup.
No, waste a cup. No, Daddy don't like it.
What is this?
So bad.
He's gonna eat poop. What is this?
No.
But he doesn't like it. Tita, it looks like he's gonna eat the poop. Kuya, it's so funny. What is this? I don't like this. I'm deleting it. Should I? Oh no, I don't want to delete it. But at the same time, I have to. Aw, I did this. Look, I stole this one from Kuya. No, I just found it, and then I found this, and then I found that daddy sign. Yeah, and then that's basically almost it.
That's cool.
That's mine! I think that's my friend. That's my book. I see you. I like that. Oh wait, what did I add here? Oh wait, I added that. Why is it right
Are you
there?
using that notebook of yours?
Not much.
Oh, waste.
No. It's not waste. Tita, you remember this? I'm still decorating. Kuya likes that. Nice. Wait, control zoom. Okay. What should I add for his wonderful? Wait, Tita. I don't like that. Nah.
Two more. No, one more.
No, back. Tita, I like this dog. It's so cute. Look at it. I don't like it anymore. It looks cute there, but it looks not cute here. Look at that. Kind of creepy. Let's see. Oh, ooh, what is this? I like both of them.
Oh, shoot.
What didn't I? love you in these sheets. Wait. TV. Did the
Put the TV in there.
What is it? I don't like that. Show. I just don't know. Show. TV show, Tita. I'm making a TV show.
You want the piano, Sissy?
What is this?
Sissy? The piano?
I just, what is it? I'm gonna put this on the TV. It's kind of funny though. I'm gonna put this on the TV. I don't like. That's creepy. I don't like that. I'm deleting this. We have what?
You have 15 minutes.
Okay. This is the TV. I like it. Kaya, let's go brush our teeth.
I want to hear you guys count. What?
After I'm done brushing my teeth, can I finish?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you asked so kindly, Matt.
What?
Because you asked so kindly, that's why I say yes.
What?
Because you're a good boy. You're nice. Respectful. Get out of my room. Come here again, okay? Oh, it is extra. It's extra. Feels mean. I told them brushing their teeth, flossing, and also mouthwash was at least 30 seconds. No, not 30, 60 seconds. You know, they at least have to count. I've seen them do it too fast. This part takes so long. Why is that? Man, calm down. You let her finish, and then you tell her if she didn't do something. You gotta give people chances. And you don't have to yell. It's so cute. Okay, you're every time I'm like, I don't, for sure this one I don't think it's gonna sell.
Okay, I'm gonna finish.
Okay.
Alexa, I want a timer.
How do you make this part faster? Okay.
Okay, let's go. I'm doing cooking. Could I watch Kuya a little bit?
Yeah.
I want to put it in there.
Are you done with this? Are you done?
A little more.
Just put it away.
Okay, I'm done. Tita,
Mm-hmm.
I'm done editing.
Okay.
Wait, I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done. So I could.
Good. Maybe if you guys, when you guys go sleep, I'll try to finish your cup. Okay. And I'll wait for you to
Could
open
I
it.
see what cup I want?
Yeah, look like this. This with the glitter, right?
Yay!
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Wait. But one more thing. Let me do something with the background. I don't like it too dark.
Okay.
I mean too light.
Oh.
Hey.
Why does this keep happening?
It's fine now. I don't like it like this. I don't like it when it's too light.
Oh.
A little lighter? Like that, yeah. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That one fits perfectly. There's two new ones, so. Why did the screen keep going?
Yeah. Why
like
are you
that?
doing that?
Wait, why did it like that?
Figure that out. Why is that happening?
Yeah. Okay, it's not working anymore. It's not doing that anymore.
Good.
What? Why they keep doing this to me? Tita, they keep doing this to me. For some reason.
This is what it's doing in there.
Tita, all this shows it to the cat now.
What?
See, it used to be the. You see the. Wait, where's the dog here? He does that. The cat does that. Sleepy time.
Oh, there's cat version.
Yeah, there's a cat version. That's his friend. Yeah, that was his friend. You know that?
Oh my god.
Tita,
Mhm.
is there a top like that? I like those kind of tops.
What's that? Top?
Yeah, I like those.
This top?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have the same thing.
Yeah.
It's your own design.
Yeah. Wait, cause I want to show Mom though.
Are you gonna bring it back?
Yeah, I want to bring it back.
What's gonna happen if you don't?
$5.
$5? It costs more than that.
10.
Take your whole fortune.
No, not my whole fortune.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Projects? Oh, whoa. Tita, this is your project.
Mm-hmm.
These are your projects you're working on.
Yeah.
2. I know. Draw. I know. Tita, I'm just drawing something extra. Don't worry about
No, I don't want that. No, you're ruining it.
it. Okay, fine. Let me get the eraser out. But, okay, there, it's gone. Tita, I'm finished.
Okay.
Beautiful.
I'm doing something. I'm gonna work on it after you guys go to sleep, okay? And tomorrow I'll let you open it. Okay? And if you want to bring it over and you forget it, I'm gonna take all your money.
What?
So that's up to you. You need to be confident that you can take care of it.
I
and bring it
can
back.
take care of it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Big
Tita,
wrist right there.
Tita.
What?
I need one on the other side.
No, you're gonna get a new one.
Okay,
Oh,
fine.
actually, at least you flip it. You can flip it.
Yay.
These two can be flipped too.
Yay. Tita, perfect. Tita, look, perfect. Perfecto. It's right there. I'm just getting rid of these.
Okay.
Oh, this is so cute. Look at this. Tita, look how cute this cat is.
It's a lot of cute things. You can't put them all in though, huh?
Yeah,
It's too bad.
it's too bad. It's fine though. Why is there one in a bathtub? There's one in a bathtub, Tita.
Mhm.
Oh my, why would you become this? Why?
Oh no.
Why?
No.
Well, let's see which ones are here again. There's peanut butter, yeah. Oh, there's a new one. Hey, he graduated, Tita, he graduated. I like the graduated one. It's so cute. Look at him. He's having a pencil in his hand. How could he?
I'm so sleepy all of a sudden. Why do I feel sleepy?
It's fine, you're fine. I don't know. No, don't, please. Tita, there's an itty bitty baby one right there, okay? Look, right there. And the baby one. This one, baby one too, okay? Tita, that's beautiful.
I like the purples. I think you need some purples in the bottom too.
What?
See the purple? It looks nice. You should spread it out.
I could delete, look, I should delete one of these. Yeah, like that. That's a little, that's good, yeah.
I don't like the way you're sitting, Cece. You gotta put your back straight. I think this chair is too high.
No, I'm fine.
No, hurt your back.
Fine. What it is? It's so adorable. All of these are so. I wanna see how much I did. See y'all. Tita, I wanna see how much I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25,
Well, if I
26,
skip this part, and I could save a lot of time.
27,
Is it
28,
really
29,
necessary?
30, 31, 32, 33, 34,
This part is
35,
not gonna
36,
save me.
37, 38, 39, 40,
Yes,
41,
true.
Tita,
Yeah.
I have 41 of the dogs.
Oh, yeah, wow, that's a lot.
I want to see this. Wait. When did I have this? I never knew I had this.
Oh, that's in the
This
back.
is the teenager girl.
Mm.
This is the one when she's a teenager.
Mhm.
Look. Wait. I'm almost done. You don't look yet. Yeah, look. This is what I saw.
Mm.
See?
Wow.
Here, this was a little girl, right? This is a little girl.
Mhm.
And wait, this was the little girl, you remember? And this, wait. And this is the grown-up of her. No, what's that? This is the grown-up of her. Look. This is grown-up. But have we seen teenager yet? But I want to still see what the teenager look like.
Mhm.
Where is it? Let's see the teenager.
Mhm.
Oh wait, that's grown-up. Never mind.
I feel tired today, huh? I'm probably
Yeah,
gonna sleep early.
you're tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it though. You have to build my.
Maybe. Well, maybe I'll do it next time.
Tita, there's 31 of these. Look, 31 of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, just found that. What is this? I don't like that. I'm gonna fix that.
Should we wait, Cece, to do yours after? Like, so you can wrap it and you can tape it and do all that
I don't
part?
wanna do
What?
it. Maps is.
Okay. Let Matt finish his game, then you go sleep.
Me and you will sleep at the same time, so I stay up. I'm gonna play it for a little bit. Probably we should do it right now, so we don't have to do it later.
I need to finish this too.
Alright.
Because I have to.
Why is there so much here? Why?
Can you count those, Cece?
I like this one. Look how weird this one is. Let me see how much. Oh wait,
Hey,
there's more.
what did I tell you?
I wanna see Miss
How many
Morris.
or how much?
How many?
Okay.
This is Miss Morris's.
This one
This
and
is
one.
sparkly one only. What right here? And then this one. And look what I did. I didn't mean to put that like that.
Mhm.
And yeah, I like those two. That's me and Amar. I don't want that. It's kind of like me.
Amar. What's it?
Amar.
Amar.
Amar. Best teacher ever. Put it on the wall. That's why I did this.
Cut for wall.
That's it. That's all I did. That's so cute. Dear Miss Morris, I'm going to miss you in 1st grade.
Mhm.
I like that. It's cute. Okay, I'm gonna see how many there are.
I think your designing skills is
1,
better now.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27.
Like, remember you sing the song? Daddy is the best song? Remember? When Daddy just called me your hair?
Daddy is the best. I forgot.
Daddy is the best.
What?
Daddy is the best. Daddy is the best. That's all you were singing.
Wait, how much did I count? I mean, many. How did I count? Tita!
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm doing this, my work.
I don't know that.
Huh?
I don't know that.
Oh, what do you mean?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, look, I'm working.
Okay. Tita, I'm gonna play with this in Korea, not play with it anymore.
No, don't mess with stuff. That's messed up. Don't do that. It's called disrespect.
Okay, fine. I'm going all the way up. Okay, Tita.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I don't like? on this whole thing. This is the one I
It's so
don't like.
ugly.
Look at
did
this.
eat that.
Look what he did. He did poop and stuff. He's gonna eat some poop today.
So nasty.
He's so disgusting. And then he's like, why would you do that? He's like that. Look. He's like, why would you do that? I don't like that. That one is creepy. Tita, look. That one's creepy. I'm gonna delete that.
Yeah, don't do that. Leave it alone though. It's somebody else's work. You see, don't make that a habit, alright?
I know. But, Tita, he made it on the wrong one. This is the one I draw was. I'm doing coloring and stuff on it. He's the one who did that. See?
No. He did that. Those are first. So you work on his. Right? The stuff at the top is first.
This was the first. This was the first one. This was
Yeah.
the first.
Then,
Until he made another one. He added another one and moved it to the top so he could
okay.
have first place.
But I'm just saying, you said you was working on your stuff, but you worked on his. You work on the same one. That's all I'm saying.
Tita, you know what my favorite part? I didn't want to show you them. I don't wanted to show them this one. I didn't want to show them this one. It was kind of
It's
funny.
funny.
There's a toilet.
Mhm.
Imagine going.
Okay, we all know what that is.
Tita. Okay, girls, you could go to the bedroom now. You go look at your new room. Okay, they're going upstairs. Pop! Wow! It's amazing! Wow!
Mm.
We have a TV! I wanna play. What is this? What are we playing? What is this? They don't know what it's
There's a TV, yeah, that's so cool.
I love everything. Hey, you forgot the locking. Lock. Let's lock. I'm locking everything. So it doesn't move. Yeah. Wait a minute. 10 times in and it's setting on limit. That's a big knockoff. Every now knockoff. Hey, I'm on vacation every single day. We go bye. We going bye. They went bye. The only thing I have to do is not get out of it, or it's gonna be gone forever.
Mm.
The baby puppies including here. Look.
Oh, that's in the other kitchen area, right?
Yeah, I was there before. Hey, my teddy bear! And not your teddy bear. No, you're not supposed to be on the bed. My teddy bear! It's my teddy bear. Let's put it. Oh, that's so bright. Put it on the bed. Yeah. Wait a minute. Okay, dog. The puppy is the only one who could go in this comfy bedroom.
Mm.
All the puppies, all the baby puppies, that's not baby. Tita, it looks like a baby, right? This one? It isn't. It was born small.
Aw.
This is a baby. Tita, these are stickers on the wall. Da 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 da. This is a sticker. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
It looks like it isn't a sticker, right?
Mhm.
These are stickers.
Mm.
I'm sorry. It looks like it's real dogs. A sticker. Like it's a sticker. I I like the sticker.
Mm.
There's so much cuteness. What is this? I don't like that. Tita, look how cute those three are together. Let's put this baby puppy, and the smallest baby puppy. This is the smallest one. He's just in a cup, okay? He's just in a cup. He's fine. He's fine. Oh wait, she's going to her teenager life. Bye bye. You're gonna say that bye bye, Tita. We're getting a teenager girl. Where her? Oh, there she is.
No
A
energy.
teenager. A teenager.
Too much energy today. I have low energy. Too tired.
Yeah, don't tired.
How come you don't? Now you're not tired anymore. But earlier when you do your work, you're take forever. Hey, don't look at it too much. Hey, rest your eyes.
Okay. Hey, can I tell you something? I graduated.
Oh my
I graduated. Look at it. He said bye bye. Hey, I thought I was teenage. I thought I was supposed to be big. Yeah. Let's put her bed a little bigger. Right, Tita? I'm putting her bed a little bigger so it could. Yeah. I'm making an illusion. Yeah. You know the illusion where there's on the side? No, it's covering the door. Just kidding. The door, you just have to go up it, invisible, little bit. Okay, you be teenager a little bit. She's teenager. You're supposed to be 26 years old, so you're going up. I'm going up.
Is that that song?
I like that
I
song.
love that song.
Wow, it fits perfectly.
No, it's just too big for the bed.
No, she fits.
The bed's tiny.
Nah, it fits. There we go. She still has a teddy unicorn. It's fine. She has a teddy unicorn. Hey, I thought I was supposed to be big. She's a teenager. Tita, she's a teenager. Yeah. No! Mr. Stuffy! The TV is too big. The TV is too big. The TV is bigger in here. Tita, look at the two teddy bears on the bed with it on there. It's on the bed. Good night. That. I don't want that. What is going on upstairs? Why are the kids being so tired all the time? I'm gonna go see what the dad is up to. Where's that? It's a beautiful day outside. I better wake up the kids. Or probably not. They're fine. Tita, the mom gonna make a dunk. Wait. I have to do it again. Tita, the mom's gonna make a dunk. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Hey! What is going on here? What is going on here? Tita, is it gonna get in or not? Yay, got in. How did it get in? That's my question. How did it get in? I'm going to the park. Yeah. Why are kids so small here? The kids are so small. Why is the kid so small? Why is every kid so small? Why is that? No. Wait, Tita. It shows which. Look, it's just turned into playground right now. Then I'm going upstairs. It's talking about basketball.
She's too big for this.
And then now talking about mail for some reason. And then now it's talking about mail still. here it's talking about owl.
Mm.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
Tita,
Yeah.
I should add a cup of cat.
So these are supposedly done.
This is so cute.
Oh yeah. Oh, let's see.
I got them a new surprise. I got them supplies. They got a new kitty cat for some reason. I don't know why. Hey, 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 hey. Tita, what are you doing? Ah! Nah. Okay. Bam.
Now we are gonna do.
I did it! I'm gonna go up here, sorry.
Can I do this? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
The mom is good again! Tita, is that good? Is that good enough? Look at the mom and the kids are go.
Yeah.
Where's TV? It disappeared!
Oh no!
Why is there so much?
So much. What? So many? Sissy.
I mean, Manny, I'm sorry! TV screen. Wait, watching TV. Watch and how's that from?
Oh!
Let me see. Watching.
Damn, internet is so slow.
So
Takes
slow.
Forever.
Watching.
This is why it takes forever here.
Watching TV. Tita, I'm doing watching TV. For money, understand? Nothing. What is it?
Oh yeah.
Why are you watching a green screen? Why are you watching the green screen? Look at this.
I'm not.
No, he's watching green screen. What are you watching?
Oh,
Watching TV.
oh my god.
I'm gonna put new Disney character princesses. I never said that. New. Oh wait, what? TV. Breaking the what did I say? Breaking news. Dun 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 dun. Breaking news. Today we're gonna do blah 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 blah. I don't know what you're talking about.
Alright, it's time to go to sleep, you guys.
It's fine. I could work on it tomorrow. Good night.
Bye, good night.
Are you gonna
Okay,
do
next
this?
time. Let's finish this first. Next time, you guys have to do things faster. This is why. It's
Time
time
to
to go.
get off.
You gotta go sleep so you can spend time with mom tomorrow.
Yes, there are. Never mind.
Sissy, you a tattler. Oh my god. Tattler.
Ding, 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 ding.
Get in bed. Sissy. Sissy, we're all here. We're safe. You guys want your cups down? You want to down? I see you left your dog for that. Since yesterday.
Wait!
here? I like the big screen. It's nice. Let's watch something while we work, since the kids are in bed now. Let's see what Danko is saying today. I saw a video. I think I didn't listen to this one. Okay, we need this. I want to listen to this one. Hold on, start over.
You need to be extreme if you want your life to change. And the best way I can illustrate this is by talking about the story of my birthday in 2021, because I remember it vividly. This was the time when my business was actually starting to do well. I was also in the middle of losing weight because it happened after COVID. So I was 20 to 30 pounds overweight. I'd been in the gym my entire life. I didn't like how it looked. This was also a time when I was in the middle of the first draft of my first book, The Art of Focus. And the weird thing about this is so many things were going well, and it felt like at that time, every single weekend, there was a reason to go out and do something that would ruin my progress. Things like concerts or hanging out with friends or going out to drink, that kind of stuff. Just normal life for normal people. And since I was making such good progress, I figured I could take a break. So I did. I went out, I partied, I drank, I stayed up late, I went off my diet, and as you could guess, my progress didn't only slow down, it just started going downhill rapidly. Every weekend, it would take maybe 4 to 5 days for my energy and my mental capacity to recover. And by that time, there was another event to attend. There was another thing to do that would slow down.
I can totally see how this makes sense, because that's not the partying or anything, but just life in general. It takes over sometimes. Like for me, you could say when I go home, but now I think I'm getting better at getting the work done. But then, or just the camping trip itself, well, as good as it is also takes a toll. And it also makes me, I need time to recover from that too. That's what I noticed. Anyway.
My progress. And because of this, I couldn't think straight for writing the draft of a book. And obviously my fitness habits fell off and my business started to slow down because of those two things. Now that felt painful, but the pain wasn't excruciating just yet. I didn't have a reason to change. Now for months prior to this, my friend group and I had been planning to go to Seattle for my birthday. And I was already tired of not making progress, but it was my birthday, right? So I could justify going out and having a little fun one last time. So after a weekend of going out and doing the same thing and making very little progress, I was done. At that point, I was just so fucking mad at myself. Because when you have goals that are the most important thing in your world, they shine a light on everything you're doing wrong. the most painful thing in the world is watching those goals fade into the background as they're being replaced by goals of shallow pleasure. So the second I got back home, I just disappeared. I didn't respond to anyone. I became unavailable. Every invitation or event in any form was just an automatic no. I didn't even have to think twice about it. And because of that, every single action I took felt seamless. I wanted to be disciplined. It gave me joy. And slowly my mind returned, my body returned, my business returned. My entire world changed in an instant. Now, why is that? The first reason is because being extreme changes your brain. There's a famous saying that summarizes a neuropsychological theory related to neuroplasticity called Hebb's Law, and in a nutshell, it just says neurons that fire together wire together. So neuroplasticity, as you may know, is your brain's ability to rewire itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. Your brain isn't fixed and rigid, it's a dynamic network that can adapt, learn, and change based on your experiences, thoughts, and actions. So, being extreme about changing your life helps quicken the process of neuroplasticity or changing your brain. People scream about how consistency is key, which is true, due to repetition reinforcing neural pathways, but we can take it a step further than that. Novelty and challenge stimulate neuroplasticity even more. So when you flip the switch and pursue a goal with all your might, you put your brain in an environment that quickly adapts and helps that become your new standard. The second thing is that intensity and obsession create this neurochemical cocktail in your brain. Most people fall into a rut because they seek extrinsic motivators. But when you are obsessed, in the context of this discussion, with a goal, you are fueled by intrinsic motivators, each of which stack and strengthen each other in a way that sustains some degree of flow, which is the state of optimal experience for one of the most enjoyable states of mind. Now, there are 5 of these intrinsic motivators. The first is curiosity, which is the desire to explore the unknown, learn how to change, and fill knowledge gaps. And this results in good dopamine from novelty and norepinephrine, which heightens attention, preparing you to learn. The second intrinsic motivator is passion, where an intense enthusiasm is built for the path that allows you to change your life. This results in more good dopamine and norepinephrine. The third intrinsic motivator is purpose, which is the feeling that your actions contribute to something larger than yourself. Achieving goals here results in more dopamine, which reinforces behavior, and serotonin stems from significance and belonging. Oxytocin stems from connection. The fourth intrinsic motivator is autonomy, which is the desire to direct your own life and work, to control your choices, actions, and environment. And this results in, yet again, more dopamine and a reduction in cortisol, which is the stress from feeling put in a box, allowing for creative decision making. And the fifth intrinsic motivator is mastery, which is the process of learning and growing being its own reward. And this results in sustainable, good dopamine that keeps you in the game. Those are the intrinsic motivators that create obsession. And you will understand these more as they come into play when we talk about how to spend the next 6 months of your life. Now, the third point here is that your mind filters reality based on what you're obsessed with. Let's illustrate this with a quote from Maxwell Maltz. The man who conceives himself to be a failure-type person will find some way to fail, in spite of all his good intentions or his willpower, even if opportunity is literally dumped in his lap. The person who conceives himself to be a victim of injustice, one who was meant to suffer, will invariably find circumstances to verify his opinions. Our mind is wired for survival. But the interesting thing about being human is that we don't only try to protect and reproduce the information in our genes or in our DNA like animals. We do that, but we also attempt to protect and reproduce the information in our consciousness or our worldview or our concept of self. So what that means is that we feel threatened when our body is threatened, obviously, like animals, but also when our identity is threatened. So on the negative end, we notice information that reinforces our beliefs and worldview, often leading to us lashing out at those who question our religious or political beliefs. Our identity feels threatened, and the brain's response sends that signal, so we feel the need to survive. Now, Now, on the positive end, when you are identified with a goal that you are obsessed with, your mind will automatically notice opportunities in your environment to reinforce that higher version of yourself that you were becoming. An example of this is if you've ever set out to achieve a goal, like a New Year's resolution, and then you start reading a book, and now you're learning things that you didn't even know existed before. You're noticing diets to try and exercises to try. And when losing weight or going to the gym wasn't a priority to you before, you didn't care about those things. They didn't even register for you. It's the same phenomenon when you hear a word for the first time and then you hear it everywhere, or when you see a new car for the first time and then you see it everywhere. The point is that if you aren't obsessed with a goal, you are missing out on so much in life and so many opportunities where you're wondering, oh, how do I do this? How do I do that? Oh, it's all luck. No, you're just not obsessed with a goal, the goal that allows you to notice those things. The people who are obsessed with their goals are living in a completely different mind space than you, and they don't have trouble succeeding because it's automatic. We're wired this way because our ancestors were wired this way. When our ancestors were hunting for something or they needed food, their attention was heightened and they would notice things in the environment that allowed them to survive. Now, if we look to something like cybernetics and apply that to our mind or the psyche, we can see that our mind has some form of a homing mechanism toward our goals. Our mind accepts information that helps it and rejects information that doesn't. You are steered toward your goals without much effort. So in summary, if you are obsessed with a goal, the universe will conspire in your favor by giving you the resources to achieve it. So we understand that being extreme or being obsessed is the best way to change your life. But how do you get to that point, right? You're hearing me say, oh, you need to be obsessed with a goal, but what if you aren't obsessed with any goal? What if you don't care about anything? What if you don't know what to do? What if you're stuck in this rut or you just feel lost? What if you're like me, leading up to my birthday, where I was just starting to fall off track, but I didn't really notice how it was impacting my life until I finally hit that point where everything turned around. How do you hit that point, and what is the reason behind it working? To understand this, we need to understand that evolution creates order from disorder. Now, this is an interesting one because the second law of thermodynamics states that all natural processes move toward a state of greater disorder over time. In other words, this is what entropy is. It's the measure of disorder, randomness, or chaos. Now, here's the thing. The universe or your life just moving towards greater disorder or randomness or chaos is only half of the story. In his book, The End of Uncertainty, Ilya Prigogine makes the argument that this arrow of time is not just an illusion, but a fundamental feature of reality itself. When a system is pushed far enough away from equilibrium, it can become unstable. Now here's the key point. This instability can lead to a spontaneous emergence of new, complex, ordered patterns called dissipative structures. The easiest example to wrap your head around this concept is think of a faucet, and the faucet is just pouring out water. It's very chaotic. But at some point, it gets so chaotic that as it's going down the drain, it creates this whirlpool, this beautiful ordered structure of a whirlpool. That's not more chaotic. That's not more messy or more disorder. That's order that has emerged from disorder. Now, I know we're getting all scientific or abstract here, but bear with me for a second, because there's one more thing that you need to understand, and that's the fact that reality is composed of whole parts. Not just parts, not just wholes, but whole parts. An atom is a whole and a part of a molecule. A molecule is a whole and a part of a cell. A cell is a part of an organism a part of an environment, or you can think of letter to word to sentence to paragraph, or matter to life to mind to soul to spirit, or even things like the techno-economic base of a society, like foraging to horticultural to agrarian to industrial to informational societies. Now, the point that I'm trying to get at with illustrating this is that evolution creates order from chaos. As matter progressed and became more complex, life emerged. As life progressed, mind emerged. As anything becomes more developed or complex or disordered or messy, a new whole emerges as the ordered structure for that thing. Now, let's try to tie this all together. So when you take the concept of entropy and apply it to the mind, you get psychic entropy. In other words, the mind tends toward disorder, randomness, and chaos. So in your personal life, when you reach a point of feeling lost, or you feel like your life is falling into chaos, you are presented with an opportunity for a higher version of yourself to emerge. This isn't just some random abstract philosophy. This is directly observable in everyday life. This is exactly what happened in my story. Things became so complex, so disordered, I felt so chaotic, like I was falling into this rut. And eventually, I just hit that point. I hit the point of becoming so fed up with the progress that I was making that I had no choice but to flip the script and do the complete opposite. The reason that many people don't reach this point is because they aren't brutally aware of how their current trajectory in life is impacting their thoughts, emotions, and progress toward non-existent goals. So you need to reach the crossroads of dissonance and insight. What I mean by that is once you get a taste of where you are in life, you've been there for long enough, you will start to feel like you are being ripped in half. And that's exactly what you need to pay attention to. One lower part of you wants to stay the same, while one higher part of you wants to change. And as you intentionally choose to lean toward the higher, you are met by insight. You are given the answer to everything. And that leads to this insane burst of clarity that leads to obsession for a meaningful goal. That is the tipping point that pushes you into being extreme. Now, once you hit this point, this is when you disappear for 6 months and focus on 4 habits. New knowledge comes when you simply bear in mind what you need to know. Keep holding the problem in mind and it will yield. The history of human beings is certainly a testament to that fact. An individual runs into a problem and simply obsesses about that problem until he or she solves it. It might take a week, a month, a year, a decade, a century, or a millennium, but the cosmos appears to be such that solutions are always forthcoming. That's a quote from Ken Wilber that helps summarize this nicely, is that all problems are solvable. And that's exactly what you're doing when you go into this period of monk mode or disappearing for 6 months. You're obsessing over a problem. Now, on the topic of monk mode, I'm sure you're familiar with it. It's a concept that's often talked about in the self-improvement space, and recently it's just become a bastardized version of its former self. Everyone has talked about it, and now since everyone knows about it, it's often reduced to this shallow definition of just cut everyone off and make money. So we're not going to do that. In fact, we're not even going to follow the original definition of what monk mode was. What the original monk mode means is a purely ascending lifestyle, or an ascetic lifestyle. So in the past agrarian societies, when the horse-drawn plow was invented, there was an abundance of food, and so men had the free time to pursue their own interests. So this is when things like writing and mathematics were invented, but it also gave people the time for deep contemplation. And what they found is that the divine wasn't out there or up there, but in here, and that realization led to the axial period. And the axial period was a time where revolutionary spiritual and philosophical ideas emerged across multiple civilizations. So Socrates in ancient Greece, Gautama Buddha in India, and Lao Tzu in China. So this ascending spirituality that was created, or asceticism, is a view that pins the manifest world as evil. Since the kingdom of heaven couldn't be found up there or out there, money, sex, food, and pleasure were demonized. So true monk mode, the original definition of monk mode, is just this. It's a period dedicated to the ascending path and self-realization. But the thing is, here we're in 2025. We have access to a lot of information, a lot of different worldviews. We have access to history. Any non-dogmatic person realizes that spirituality is only one piece of the puzzle. It's a very important piece, but reducing the solution to all of your problems to contemplation is just as bad as reducing the same to atoms, money, or just parts or physical things. The spiritual people who demonize the scientific materialists for reducing the world to atoms are doing the same thing. They're just reducing the world to spirit. So instead of doing that, we're going to disappear for a period of intensity toward a better life. A period where you obsess over a problem until it's solved. And our problem here is that we want to change the entirety of our life. We need a holistic monk mode, if you will. Now that comes in 2 parts. Defense and offense. So we'll start with defense, which is short and to the point, which is eliminating distractions. Because focus does not only apply to work. Distractions are not only notifications that pull you away from work. The entire entire point of disappearing is to create a glitch in the matrix, to change your identity overnight, to rid yourself of the crabs and parasites that pull you down and drain you of the energy that must be dedicated to the choices that create a better future. Now, for the sake of being extreme, it's easier to change everything at once than it is to change one thing at a time. So rip the Band-Aid off. Stop responding to people who only take and never give. Any invitation that pulls you away from your goals should be an automatic and firm no. Every bad habit that does not serve you stops tomorrow. No exceptions. It is an incredible feeling to choose your own limitations, to be free of that which splits your attention from the highest good you can do. Now that's defense. Now for offense, we need to form 4 focus habits, because a good life stems from the pursuit of the good, the true, and the beautiful. The pursuit of truth as a whole. The good is intersubjective truth, what is good for humanity or community. It's doing what's right. The true is objective truth, which is found in scientific study. And science derives data. Data is experience, and experience is physical, mental, and spiritual. The true is about learning and understanding how things really are. Now the beautiful is subjective truth, the realm of aesthetics, noticing and creating beauty around you. Now there are many variations of habits that can check all of these boxes, but we're going to focus on 4, the 4 that I think are the most impactful and easiest to focus on. So what you're going to disappear and do for the next 6 months is this: 1 project, 1 book, 1 meditation, 1 workout. That checks the boxes of the good, the true, and the beautiful, and each dimension of your life. So let's start with 1 project, the thing that you're going to build. Your project is the thing you're going to work on. It's your work, because work is a necessary part of life that brings contrast to rest. But most people work jobs they hate, so they throw the baby out with the bathwater, hoping that they will never have to work again. This is a delusion, because you will not be happy in a state of perpetual vacation, because meaning is found in contrast. If you don't work to balance out rest, then the rest becomes meaningless. You go on vacation, and after a month you want to go back home, you want to get back to work. The problem is you're working on the wrong thing. And on top of that, the average person's view of what rest is, where rest is recovery, most people view it as this form of self-destruction. You lay in bed, you get fat, you eat Cheetos, you drink wine, you become a degenerate. That's not rest. That's just a recipe for burnout, because you're not recovering for any form of meaningful work. So the start of the solution is to choose 1 project that acts as a building block for the life you want to live. Now this can be anything: a creative project that leads to independent work, a portfolio project that leads to a change in career, and most of the time, considering the state of AI, I at least recommend that everyone try entrepreneurship, because I know many people don't want to do that, but the way you hedge yourself against replacement is that. And because you are attempting to control the good, the true, and the beautiful in your work. You can't control that when someone else assigns you the work. Your work and the project that moves you toward creating the work you want is a representation of the good, because entrepreneurship is the art of solving problems in other people's lives. It is how you contribute to a community or an audience of people by fulfilling a role that improves their lives. Now, obviously, there is the bad side of work, which is doing work for someone else and being completely unconscious of the impact that that work is having on society or culture or the community or people as a whole. Some people are working some random desk job and don't even care or don't even notice that their company is in coordination with another one that drops bombs in another country. Your work also integrates the true, because you have to learn and actually try to get objective results for other people, and it integrates the beautiful by expressing the depths of your personality, because the best type of business or brand is one with personality, either as one person, as a personal brand, or as a business with personality. So spend 1 hour of deep work a day on a project that can change your professional life. Put it on your calendar. Work that doesn't feel like work is the intersection of what the world needs, the good, what you have experience with, the true, and what you deeply care about, the beautiful. Work, when done right, is synonymous with life. It is the central pillar of everything else you do. And that leads into number 2, which is 1 book. Now you're bound to finish 1 book in 6 to 12 months. You can read more, but it just didn't make sense for me to say 2 books or 3 books when we're saying 1 project, 1 book, 1 meditation, 1 workout. It just didn't make sense. But if you want to change your life, you need the knowledge to do so, plain and simple. And school probably isn't going to give you that knowledge, so you need to self-educate. You need to immerse your
Oh
mind in
my
the thoughts
God,
of those
why?
who have lived the life you want to live. Now, this is simple enough. Read one book, 30 minutes a day, because learning something just because you're curious is a prime representation of the truth. And as you'll find, the simple act of exploration brings novel ideas that lead to progress. Now, the third habit is one, meditation. While work can be beautiful and spiritual, it is not a full replacement for a habit that maintains your connection with reality. Now, by meditation, I do not mean sitting in a dark room and closing your eyes and focusing on your breath and letting your thoughts pass, even though that's very viable. You can do that. Meditation, for all I'm concerned, is a way of life, a way of perceiving the world through a lens of wonder and gratitude, noticing the amazing things all around you that tend to be glanced over when you are stressed and narrow-minded. The purpose of meditation in this sense is to notice depth, to escape the trap of shallow living. So, for at least 10 minutes a day, attempt to notice reality in greater detail and depth. Go on a walk and only focus on the feeling of your feet on the ground. Stare at a tree and notice the intricate detail that you've never noticed before. Listen deeply when having a conversation with a loved one. Don't just notice words, notice tone, expression, everything. Stare at your hand for 10 minutes straight. Yes, I'm serious. And let your mind wander deeper into the detail. Feel the water on your hands while doing dishes. Feel everything you touch for once in your life. Listen to the sound of silence or cars in the distance. Pick apart the intricate smell of even the most boring food. Don't overcomplicate this, and this leads into the last and final habit, which is one workout. And I'll let Socrates tee this one off. No man has the right to be an amateur in the matter of physical training. It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable. Now, back to the topic of reality being composed of whole parts. One major tenet of these whole parts is that the destruction of the lower leads to the destruction of the higher. So, if we destroy Earth, then obviously humans, the level of mind, is destroyed with it. Destroying the Earth is literal suicide. Another example is if a cancer cell or a virus invades the organism and eventually takes over because we don't fix it, then it becomes sick and eventually dies. And if you remove something like a sentence from a paragraph, a lot of the times, this paragraph won't make sense. Now, the point with this is that you live in your body. It should be considered your full-time job to learn about it, train it, and treat it with respect, because anything else is literal suicide. Not only that, but a lack of health shoots its impact upward into the creative ability of your mind, the quality of your work, and the depth of connections in your relationships. It's all connected. So commit to one workout, whatever you feel the most pulled to do. Find a running program, a weightlifting program, a Pilates routine, a yoga thing, whatever. The point is to pay mind to the body that allows you to be here every single day. Those 4 habits can radically change your life. Those 4 habits can align you with the good, the true, and the beautiful. Those 4 habits can lead to a higher state of enjoyment through curiosity, passion, purpose, autonomy, and mastery. Get sick of being sick. Give yourself permission to be extreme, disappear, and come back unrecognizable. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to read my latest letter on the death of thoughtful creation and how to get ahead of everyone else going into the future, you can read that on my Substack for free. And on the paid version of the Substack, I actually released the full course of the One Person Business Launchpad. So you can go to my Substack, check out what's all there, sign up for free or paid. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Bye. I never thought that I was going to have a personal brand. Back in 2016 or so, I was a freshman in college, and my friend and I, who lived on the same floor, started a YouTube channel. It's actually this YouTube channel that you're watching right now, but all of the videos are deleted. So I've had this channel. You need to be extreme.
Watch the first one. 2 days ago, let's see. Stop caring.
I've learned a lot about myself over the past year. In particular, I've realized that I'm generally unpleasant to be around. I prefer being alone. I hate being out of routine for more than 2 to 3 days. I'm either thinking about nothing or everything with little in between, mulling over ideas, strategizing a project, ruminating on a problem. The quality of my days depend on the quality of alone time I have for myself. And that can hurt certain relationships because I'm unpredictable and I usually say no to most invitations or events. And so when I say no, then people assume, okay, he doesn't want to go, and then they stop inviting me. Now, at first, I thought this was a character flaw. I wanted to change it. I wanted to be more pleasant to be around. Because frankly, we've been raised to be kind in all circumstances, to never show teeth. We're often told to let loose a bit and exchange our version of fun for theirs. We're afraid of looking like bad people because we hold a delusional self-image. We think of ourselves as noble and kind, but we can never live up to that. And when I tried to be pleasant to be around, I just found myself trying to be more kind. I saw myself putting on a mask, and that just led to people taking advantage of me. When I would try to lighten up a bit and enjoy myself, then my life would only get worse because I'm not staying true to my goals and values. My focus would split, my progress would stall, and the goals that used to bring me joy now brought me pain because pursuing the goals was so much harder when you're letting loose and enjoying yourself. Now, after some thought, I realized that being unpleasant is a sign you're on the right path. When I observe people I look up to, their mission comes first. That's what makes life enjoyable. And if that enjoyment is taken away, it spreads into their work, their loved ones, and their friendships. So if you know what you want and you don't fold to what others think you should want, you're going to be unpleasant to be around, because the byproduct of knowing what you want is being disagreeable. In fact, when you become more disagreeable, you'll realize that people actually want to be around you more because they trust you. If you're too agreeable, people can smell that. They can sense it, and they can tell that you're fake, because nobody can live up to that noble and kind self-image that we all think we should have. People can tell when you're putting on an act like everyone else.
If someone's consistently, when you say tough in their judgment, it's easy to adapt to them because it's consistent, right? The rules are stable. And it's actually, I love having disagreeable people around me because they tell you what the hell's going on. Agreeable people, they're always covering everything. It's okay, it's nice. It's like, no, it's not. It's not nice. There are plenty of problems. Canadians are like that. It's like, it's so sickening. It's like we've elevated nice to the height. As long as you're nice. It's like, as long as you're nice, you can lie, you can cheat, you can steal, you can pretend, you can be willfully blind. Yeah, as long as you're nice. It's like, no.
Highly agreeable people hate conflict. They will do anything to smooth the water, and that's the exact problem. They will sacrifice their values, goals, and vision just to not hurt other people's feelings. Most people are agreeable because they don't care about something so much that they are forced to be disagreeable. For those types of people, it doesn't matter if they agree to go out every weekend and party or do things that isn't going to improve their lives in any way, because they don't have progress toward an important goal that is impacted by their drop in mental capacity from going out and partying. Their health goals aren't impacted because they're non-existent. Their creativity isn't being used, so that doesn't matter either. Feeling terrible is their baseline operating state because they can't muster up the strength to say no to pleasure, because that would make their friends start pushing them to go out more, and they don't want to deal with that conflict. If you are an agreeable person and you are unhappy with the relationship you're in or how much you're being paid or anything like that, you will avoid standing up for yourself, and your life won't change. So when you're agreeable, three things tend to happen. One is that problems silently build into ambient anxiety that can't be escaped until you have difficult conversations. Two, the dream of others take priority over your own, making everything feel unfulfilling and bleak. And three, you don't get what you want out of life. You die with regrets. Now the good thing is, you don't have to become a nasty person to turn it all around. So we need to learn how to be more disagreeable. High agency people are disagreeable. They have to be, because if they want to act toward their own goals, they must first disagree with the default path that society wants them on. Then they must say no to all the distractions that attempt to pull them in a different direction. Steve Jobs was notoriously disagreeable. He had a vision and was uncompromising in achieving it, which was often shown with his intense perfectionism and brutal honesty. Now, we don't need to call our employees' work shit or park in the handicap spot, but we do need a reality distortion field. This is a concept used to describe Steve Jobs' ability to convince both himself and others to believe deeply in his vision. Now, most people can't replicate Steve Jobs' IQ or personality, and we have to be careful about blatant manipulation, but everyone can create an aura that other people can't help but be attracted to, helping you achieve your vision that much faster. And that leads to step 1, which is to obsess over what you want, because answers are given to those who obsess over the question. Solutions are given to those who obsess over the problem. That's how you acquire new knowledge. You sit with the problem, you wrestle with it, you consider giving up, you reach the brink of insanity, and eventually the problem yields. Now, it may take a week for a small problem, or a year for a big problem, or a millennium for a cosmic problem, but there is never a problem that can't be solved. Just because you can't wrap your head around how to solve a problem in your life, and just because it can't be done in a year, doesn't mean it's impossible. It means that you haven't broken down the goal into tangible enough steps that lead to a development in your skill in acquiring the resources and people necessary to believe in that vision and guiding them towards it. The most important task in your life is to figure out what you want. Because if you don't, and most people don't, you will be manipulated and taken advantage of. Because you can't be distracted from a non-existing goal. And if you don't have a goal, you don't learn a thing if you don't have an aim for your learning. Humans are goal-oriented creatures. We need purpose. What we act toward creates who we are. When others assign us the goals that lie in the default path, we pursue them without question, and we slowly become a clone working toward a life that we didn't choose. So, to figure out what you want, in the simplest way possible for the sake of this video, is to obsess over it. To obsess over what you want. Figuring out what you want. If you don't know what you want, then there shouldn't be a day in your life where you don't think about the life you want, or the goals you want to pursue, or the actions you should take. That's the entire problem in the first place, is you are already acting. You are already doing things. It's just not intentional action toward a goal, and you don't realize that you're still pursuing a goal with those actions. So if you can look at your actions and see what goal they're leading toward, you'll probably realize, hey, I don't want to end up there. And that clarity alone is priceless, because it starts to add a brushstroke to the painting of what you want. What you want is a painting that you paint through mistakes and realizing what you don't want. It's not just this clear image. It's something you create through intention and contemplation. The simple act of just thinking about what you want, thinking about what you should do, thinking about the actions you should take, it starts to rewire your mind. You begin to notice what you don't want, like the job, or the lack of financial stability, or the lack of a partner, and you can start to understand, okay, why don't I have these things? Okay, maybe I should do this instead. And once you have at least some kind of clarity towards what you want, being disagreeable is a feature of knowing what you want and not compromising on it. Now, step 2 is to believe you are better than most people, and this will not sit right with a lot of people, but you need to believe that you can do better than someone else. Not in the sense that you are somehow superior to them as a person, but that you can create something that is just better enough so you have a chance to compete. Because think about it, why would I create a note-taking software if I didn't think that I could at least add some kind of value to the space? Why would I create videos if everyone had already created all the value there is to offer out there? Why would I write 2 books? Why would I do anything if I don't believe that I can do something better? That's why most people don't create their lives, but their lives are created for them, because they think everything's fine, or they don't even think about that. They don't have the belief that they can do better than someone who has already done a good job. Because the reality is, what most people create isn't that good. I mean, hell, my stuff isn't perfect, not even in the slightest, but I have subscribers, I have readers, I'm able to do what I want. The world is 99% consumers and 1% creator. The creators aren't some magical beings that have knowledge that you don't. They simply knew that they had to create in order to get the life they want, as that's the only way to have full control over their time, money, labor, all of their resources in life. Because if they are created, or they create for someone else, rather than self self-direction, self-governance, directing their own creation, then they're not in control of those resources. If you don't believe that any product or writing or design or anything can be better in some major or minor way, first, you're lying to yourself, and second, you're not going to do great things. Again, to avoid conflict. When you believe that something can be improved and act on that belief, you have the potential to contribute something valuable to the world. And if you don't have something valuable to offer, nobody is going to care enough to pay you or support you or join your cause. All of those things are necessary to getting what you want. Most people are starving artists because they just care about creating this fancy art, but not how the market perceives it so that they can sustain their art in business. If you want to do art as a hobby, perfectly fine. If you want to turn it into some kind of career and you actually want to control the resources in your life and spend more time on your art, then merge it with business. Now, step 3 is to create a plan that stretches what's possible. Because you know what you want. You have something to improve or something to create, which moves you toward what you want. Now you need a plan that brings order and clarity to both your mind and the minds of those you will need to persuade for the resources, time, attention, money, labor, and knowledge necessary to build your vision. But not just any plan. Success is a measure of the people who care about what you do. Investors, friends, employees, potential customers won't care about a boring plan they've never heard before. Now, this has to be a challenging plan. It has to be difficult. It has to be slightly delusional, but achievable. Like Steve Jobs, he was notorious for demanding that products or features be delivered on timeframes that engineers didn't think they could hit. And so with a deadline and challenge and novelty and being delusional or extreme, watch my last video on you need to be extreme if you want your life to change. This leads to a few things. One is that it increases the potential for flow state. So when the task is just on the edge of being impossible, you become one with that task and distractions disappear. 2 is that it forces creative thinking. So when I have a 4-hour deadline for my work, almost magically, I find a way to get the highest quality work done within that time. And 3 is that it demands ruthless prioritization. Pressure eliminates the ability to think about nice-to-haves and forces you to focus on what's necessary. This is a recipe for being disagreeable. If you even think about being distracted from your vision, everything starts to fall apart. And since a vision is such a large part of your identity, and your identity wants to protect itself and survive just like your body does, then you will do anything to avoid that reality. When you're identified with such a grand vision, your mind doesn't let you lose. And lastly, step 4 is to master persuasive communication, because there's a stark difference between persuasion and manipulation. Persuasion is inspiring people to act on something beneficial for both parties, both you and the other person, while manipulation is misleading people to act on something beneficial only to the manipulator. Now, this is always surprisingly a touchy subject, but I just want to make it clear. If you give attention to anything, you are being persuaded and manipulated. Most of your beliefs and personalities are the results of people persuading you or manipulating you with their ideas into doing something, and those ideas stuck with you because you didn't know any better as a child. So unless you live in the void, you are both persuading and being persuaded and manipulating and being manipulated. For that reason, you may as well just study it so you can make it conscious to yourself and do less of the manipulation and more of the persuasion. Because if you want to get what you want, you probably can't do it alone, right? If you want to start a business, you need customers. How are you going to get those customers to pay you? You need other people. You need investors, you need teammates, you need employees, maybe you need customers, or you can do it as one person, but you still need customers, and you still need an audience of people who care about what you do. So to be persuasive, you need 2 things. The first is enough research to articulate your argument so you can back up why you think your way is better. And then second is a compelling story that illustrates a transformation. The mind makes sense of the world in stories, and stories get people to care about what you do. That is persuasion in a nutshell. Literally, just get good at storytelling. This isn't a video on storytelling, but if you can start to frame your mind to think in problems and solutions, or befores and afters, and just bridge everything between that and everything you do, then you will be more persuasive than 99% of people. If you want to achieve something and you think, okay, you are here, you're at the before state, do you want to get here? The after state, is that desirable? My vision is going to help you get there. That's persuasion 101. So if we were to tie everything we just learned together to create a reality distortion field, you know what you want in life and are not willing to compromise on that. You believe that something needs to be improved. In other words, you have a problem to solve that leads toward what you want. You have a clear and strategically achievable plan to reach what you want, and you can inspire others to aid in your mission when necessary, removing potential roadblocks that would prevent you from making progress. Now, you don't need to start the next Apple to be disagreeable. You simply need to have a meaningful goal that you can't pull yourself away from and have the knowledge to act toward that goal without distractions. Whether it be your health or your career or your relationships, the underlying reason as to why you don't get what you want is because you avoid conflict. You're too agreeable. And you do not do what we just learned, which is to set the conditions that make that conflict worth resolving. Now, if you want to read more about being disagreeable or reaching your potential or being able to turn your interests and passions and obsessions into a career, I would recommend subscribing to my Substack, where you get free letters each week. And on the paid tier of that, there's also the One Person Business Launchpad course, a lot of writing strategies, marketing strategies, AI prompts, so on and so forth. So check that out with the link in the description. And if you just want to continue watching videos, I would highly recommend watching my last video on You Need to Be Extreme if you want your life to change. So again, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe while you're still here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Done?
2 months ago, I wrote this in my notes because I like to occasionally write letters to myself for awareness if I'm going through a difficult period. I can't find joy in life anymore. It's not the same. Remember when you used to go on long walks while reading or listening to lectures, audiobooks, or podcasts, and your mind would light up with ideas? You couldn't stop writing. Everything felt seamless. That period was like a blur, a 6-month flow state. You built 3 products, gained millions of readers, and even wrote a book. If you had to do it all over again right now, could you do it just as well? No way. What did your days look like? I would wake up, go down to the lake for a walk, sit on a bench in front of that pond, read a book, and highlight it nonstop. Then I'd go back home, take a shower, walk 10 minutes to the coffee shop, and write for 2 hours. Those 2 hours every morning built the entirety of your life right now. Then I'd go home again, eat breakfast. You were experimenting with different diets. Maybe that's a clue due to the novelty and dopamine from experimentation, and go out on another walk. A little afternoon, I'd go to the gym, eat afterward, learn on YouTube a bit, and then go on yet another walk. You'd close the day out catching up with friends, maybe working a bit more, and watching a show. It's been bugging me for too long. And after thinking about it quite a bit, I just knew that there was a way to get back to this higher state of mind. Maybe not the lifestyle itself, but just the state of mind, the enjoyability of that lifestyle, the state of mind that it gave me. But I'm not one to complain because I like to fix my problems before I come and give the solutions to you. So hopefully this can help you with me solving this problem of not being able to just find joy in life anymore. And if you're anything like me, you've noticed that these low periods in life are cyclical. For a few months, you feel on top of the world and you can't stop making progress. Then the next few months start to slow down, you start to maintain things, you're feeling good, but it's not the same. And then last, you hit a wall. Your vision is exhausted, you feel lost, negative thoughts begin to flood your mind. They can cloud your mind and prevent you from collecting hints at your next purpose in life that sends you down a rabbit hole of obsession. This video is for those in that last phase, the ones that can't find the same zest for life that they used to, the ones that can't find joy in just reading a book or walking in nature. So 2 notes before we actually get started with this. First is that my book, The Art of Focus, launches to the public on January 16th. You can pre-order the Kindle or the Audible version via the link in the description, or if you're just looking forward to the paperback, then mark your calendars for January 16th and just pay attention to my social media or join the newsletter so you know when that is actually going out. Second is that Cortex University, which is our college level experience for the creator economy, is open for enrollment. I'll keep that one short. You can start your digital career in 90 days via the link in the description. So first off, I want to talk about how your mind is a supercomputer running the game of life. I want you to think of your mind as a supercomputer. Your ability to process information is dependent on a few things, but I want to bring your attention to your RAM, R-A-M, RAM, or RAM access memory is one of the most important parts of a computer. It determines performance. The more RAM you use up with different programs running, open browser tabs, and the performance requirements of what you have running, the slower your performance will be. This is no different from your focus or what you hold in your conscious attention. Humans can process 10 to 50 bits of information per second with their conscious mind. They can process much more with their unconscious mind, going up to 11 million bits per second. So that's things that we've become accustomed to over time that we don't necessarily have to focus on anymore, like walking or whatever skill you've practiced. If you're really good at tennis, then you don't really have to think too much about it, or shooting a basketball, or building a business, or making money. They're all the same skills. You can use the 11 million bits of information and store information in them over time to help you achieve the life that you want to achieve. But your conscious attention, how you learn that information, how you interact with reality, can only process 10 to 50 bits of information per second. That adds up to around 125 billion bits of information in your entire lifetime. Take note of that number. Most people live with multiple high-demand programs running that are draining the limited creative energy they have. Thoughts about regretful past mistakes, thoughts about stressful future happenings, desires of hunger and entertainment to escape those thoughts, an internal cry to break out of their conditioned way of living, a list of mixed priority tasks that need to be finished, open loops of tasks they were supposed to complete but forgot about. The list goes on and on. The modern mind has its attention split in infinite different directions by default. We go about our lives stressed and near sickness rather than with singular focus on a vision for the future, being able to shift that focus simply to collect high signal information that help you actualize that vision. When we hold too much of the past or future within the contents of our consciousness, that's when chaos ensues. That's when entropy happens, because you're split from focusing on the system that actualizes your vision, and your attention is just being manhandled towards all of these different things, and it splinters off into all of these chaotic negative thoughts. It deconstructs or allows the system that your mind operates on consistently, singularly, that brings meaning to your life to fall apart. So back in that period of my life where everything that I noticed was novel, it made me feel good. The entire 6-month phase was just a flow state of me building out products, writing the book, etc. It's because, one, I had a vision for the future. I had a project to actualize that vision, and everything I consumed, all of my self-education, all of my experiences, I was able to take that creative firepower that came from those, the novel ideas, and fuel them towards those things. And that's all my life was just input, output, input, output. I was just a vessel for reality to flow through in a channeled way towards a goal. Now we need to understand how to win the game of life. So let's imagine the 125 billion bits of information that you can process in your lifetime as your life's potential, because that's what it is. Now let's think of your mind as the digestive system for reality itself. If you eat too much information, then you get anxious. And if you don't eat enough information with your mind, then you get bored. So to maximize the enjoyment in our lives, we want to maximize the time that we spend at our edge. We're not bored, we're not anxious, we're in the middle. We're between the two. Everything becomes meaningful. We're using what we're learning by building. You win the game of life by finding enjoyment, not pleasure, big difference, in as much of your experience as possible. Your experience is the present moment. Quote, winning the game of life isn't an outcome, but a process. You are either winning right now, regardless of your emotional state or status in the social hierarchy, or you are losing by projecting out of the present moment. In bodybuilding, there is an optimal environment for muscle building. That's when you're training hard at your edge, you're pushing, you're challenging yourself, and then you eat enough nutrition to fuel that muscle growth. You're not eating too much where you feel groggy and gross and bloated and you just don't like how you look. You're eating a little bit above maintenance, and you're not eating too little unless you're in a planned cutting phase, or else you'll feel just like you won't have as much energy. You won't want to push towards your goals. It's the same thing with information and learning and self-education and building. If you aren't learning anything, then you're not going to have the energy to go out and move and build and actually do things in the world. And if you're learning too much, but you're not building a business, or you're not practicing, or you're not using that information, you're not training your mind by doing those things, you're not giving the information or the mental nutrition somewhere to go, you're not able to partition it into the muscle that you're trying to build, into the skill that you're trying to build. In life, you must push into the unknown to fuel your mind. Expose yourself to new information and experience, which is curiosity, create something of value with that information to digest it, which is passion, expand your mind when that experience becomes a part of you with practice, which is mastery, and transcend that phase of life by passing down that value to others, which is connection. That's the recipe for the good life. Create, expand, and transcend with the experience you acquire by pursuing self-generated goals that lead you into the unknown. So now we understand that winning the game is more of a process of actually utilizing information, training, and fueling that training. Now we need to understand how to create our own games, because everything is a game. Society is a game, and you know how to win. You retire. You go to school, you get a job, you retire. That's what you've been practicing your entire life, unless you chose to break out of that path. That's the default path. You're on it unless you made the conscious choice to break out of it. And if you don't think you're on it, and you haven't made the conscious choice to break out of it, then you're just unaware that you're on that path. Everyone has played a game that they are completely immersed in. They forget everything else, enter the flow state, and may not realize that they are in peak experience, the beautiful spot where new information is digested as reality flows through them. When you start playing a game, you go through a tutorial phase that introduces you to the rules, goals, and skills required to play the game well. Games are a hierarchy of goals. You need to know how to win, that's a goal, and you need to understand how to progress to each sub-goal in order to win. And then you need to understand what character you need to have and the upgrades you need to make, the skills you need to develop, the traits you need to develop in order to reach each of those goals, each goal demanding a higher level of skill from you because they present a higher level of challenge. And if you're an absolute beginner, you have no business trying to challenge a higher level player or just taking on that challenge. The game is locked. You're not able to accept that quest because you're not even close to getting there yet. You can't start a business because you haven't learned the skills that would allow you to understand how to start a business. It's so simple. You just need to learn and build according to your skill level. So many people try to learn and build according to a millionaire skill level. That's not going to happen. You have to start where you are. So to get immersed in your game of life, you must first create it. That's what we're going to do next. But I actually have a very good example here of I'm getting back on routine right now. It's January 3rd that I'm filming this. This morning was just so good. I'm back on the 4-hour workday philosophy, even when I'm building so much. Like I feel like I should have to work longer than this, but I'll have to create another video on this. But trying to jam everything into 4 hours in the morning is just one of the most fun games for me to play. Like I can get so much done if I just wake up early, do what I have to do, have my routine, and do all the work, the high level work. And then it just takes 4 hours to build anything that I want in the future. And that feels so good, having that feedback and playing that game. Now, finally, we are at the practical stuff. How to reset your life in 7 days. This is a process that I run through when life gets messy. I've done it a few times before when I'm at that low point that I described at the beginning of the video. This is something you should do when you're constantly thinking back to a time when life was better, or when your routines fall apart and all of these tasks fill your day and you just feel like you're not getting anything done. We're going to run through this process fast. So I just pay attention, write things down, review it if you have to. First thing is take note of how you feel. Pull out a notebook and write down exactly what you're doing on a daily basis, how you feel morning, afternoon, and night. Take 10 minutes and get specific. This is important for identifying unconscious parasites, time and energy suckers. I do all of this in my new planner, the Foci Planner. I've been using this system forever in my own life in a digital format. I decided to turn it into a planner that is finally available for purchase. So it has daily pages like this, but it has a quarterly page that I've yet to map out for this year, and monthly pages. Everything we do is going to be in this planner. But the quarterly is just map out your vision, take notes, create the game of your life. The second thing is that you need to get clear on what you want. You have to realize what you don't want to figure out what you want, even if it is destructive, to realize what you don't want. Preventing yourself from making mistakes is the stupidest mistake of all. Now that's a tongue twister. You have to realize what you don't want, to figure out what you want, to realize what you don't want. So you have to observe, what do I not want? How do I not want to end up? That's pretty easy. Negativity is everywhere. I don't want to end up broke. I don't want to end up in that job. I don't want to end up ugly. I don't want to end up all these things, okay? Use that as a reference point. What's the opposite? I don't want to end up ugly. I'm going to go to the gym. I go to the gym. I realize, okay, I don't like this training. I don't want to do this training program. It's just not sustainable. I'm going to try running. and then that sparks experimentation, and then it's a self-corrective compass. You need to do what you think you want in order to understand what you don't want, and you correct your decisions over time. It is impossible to know with absolute certainty what is going to happen in the future. This is why the masses flock to secure jobs and belief systems. It's an illusion of certainty to avoid struggle. You can't skip making mistakes. Mistakes are your light in the dark. So we need to start with a minimum viable vision. You can write this down in the planner. You can write this down in a notebook. What do you want your life to look like? What do you want your mind to look like? What do you want your body to look like? What about your house? What about your day? What about your week? Write everything down. Start minimum viable vision. Just write some things down, come back to it tomorrow, then the next day, then the next day. Refine it. Doesn't have to be perfect from the start. You just need a starting point to frame your decision making so you can start that process of, I don't want this, I want this, okay, no, I don't want this, I want this, until it becomes clearer and clearer. You're never going to figure it out, like ever. You're never going to figure out, I want this 100%. Maybe with a few things, a few select things in life. With everything that life's composed of, absolutely no way. Now, from this, you break it down into goals. You're not setting these goals. People get so caught up in this. Dan, you're like, why are you setting all these goals? I don't want to set 8 billion different goals to get to whatever. I'm not even going to use them. That's not what they're for, okay? Because then those same people, they come back to me and they're like, Dan, I'm lost. I don't know what to do. And it's like, you don't have a goal to give you direction on what you should do. That's what the goals are for. They're not for achieving the goals. They're for clarity. So you know what to learn. You know what to study. You know what skills to acquire. It gives you direction from a macro level to a micro level so you can actually use it. So the next thing is to prioritize, remove, and restructure your days. The reason you aren't getting the results you used to is because you feel pressed for time, you don't have the energy to get results, and you stop doing the things that got results. So look over your brain dump, your vision, everything that you've written above. What can you change? Prioritize the things that will get results. Remove the things that snuck their way into your day and don't deserve to be there. Restructure the specific tasks and obligations to free up more time. Get the chaotic structure of your mind on paper and reorganize it. The fourth thing is understanding the cornerstone habits of the good life. You now have direction or goals and awareness on why you aren't achieving them. Now you need to cultivate 2 habits. First is learning, for novel information to fuel your skill acquisition and knowledge. 2 is building, to metabolize the information and build mental muscle. Start with 30 minutes each day. 30 minutes of self-education in the morning, 30 minutes of building a project that will contribute to your vision. If you can't set aside 1 hour each morning, when distractions are minimal, to build your future, go back to step 3 and get your priorities straight. And if you want, you can learn the high-value skill of digital writing with my course 2 Hour Writer and use the systems inside there to actually build, as you're learning, a digital career for yourself. Now, step 5. One of the most important things I've ever done and ever do in my life is creating a week-long plan that I can iterate on so I can spot problems in my days. Because you're in this chaotic spot in life because of entropy. The organization of your life, the routines, the habits, everything else, they tend toward disorder unless you put energy into them to maintain them. Sometimes you're just ripped of your routines, and that's fine. New Year's, holidays. Holidays fuck me up. When I'm not able to work and do things day after day when I stop for a week, simply because that's just what you do. You go see family, you go do other things. I don't really binge eat or do all these other things. It's just I'm knocked out of my routine. Nobody's online. Nobody's doing business. It's almost impossible for me to stay into it. And so these parts of your life where you're not on routine or you're not doing certain things, your mind isn't structured and focused on what it's doing. You pick up bad habits and you're much more likely to go through negative thought cycles. And those habits are difficult to break. So write out every single thing you are going to do for the next week. This shouldn't sound crazy or difficult. This is how you reduce the friction of making better decisions. Write out your morning routine, your focused work routine, other tasks and meetings, and nightly routine. You'll have to experiment as you go. I literally just did this today in my planner in the weekly section. And if your routine doesn't flow, that means there's a problem. That means you can go back and change it with what you wrote down. This is why we write it down, so you can go back and change it week after week until it gets better and better and better. That's how you refine a system. That's how you make it second nature. That's how you become a new person. You create a system for your life by mapping out your week, sticking to the plan, identifying problems, experimenting with solutions, and repeating the process until you reach your ideal future. It gets more efficient with time if you make this mental housekeeping a regular practice. Before you know it, new skills will become second nature and you will be baffled by how far you've come. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. The Foci Planner is now available. You can order that. Cortex University is live. If you're waiting for Cortex, the software, there's another link in the description so you can sign up for the wait list and just see what it's about. The landing page is pretty sick, if I do say so myself. If you just want to see something pretty, go look at that. Other courses, stuff down there, like, subscribe, whatever you got to do. Thanks for watching. I love you guys. If you don't create a routine, you will be assigned one. If you don't create a purpose, you will be assigned one. If you don't create a career, you will be assigned one. People are too quick to adopt the structure that somebody else created to ease life's uncertainty. You need a routine, and if you think you don't, you may not realize that you have already been assigned one by society, or your routine is not having a routine. Without rules, there is no game. Without a game, there is no winning. A routine contains the rules for how you live your life. The longer you play, the better you get, and as you're getting better, you often forget the rules and win anyways. Now is the time to stop playing the game society told you to play and start playing your own. A powerful routine, no matter how long, prevents overwhelm as you progress towards your goals. Most people are progressing towards goals that were given to them. They are progressing the dreams of someone else rather than their own. Without a routine that you created, your life will slowly fall, faster and faster, down a chaotic hole into a life of responsibilities, work, people, and a personality that you despise. Routines are comfortable, and the mind craves order. Routines allow you to focus your attention when conditioned and programmed over time to make action seamless. This is why working a job sucks, but not enough to make you quit and pursue something that sucks more until it sucks less. Life is suffering, and you have the ability to choose what you suffer for every single day. Your goals are the axis of your suffering, and most people are pursuing goals that aren't their own. Their suffering doesn't bring fulfillment. Here's a quote from Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. The optimal state of inner experience is one in which there is order in consciousness. This happens when psychic energy or attention is invested in realistic goals, and when skills match the opportunities for action. The pursuit of a goal brings order and awareness because a person must concentrate attention on the task at hand and momentarily forget everything else. So we need to talk about how to focus your attention to reverse psychic entropy or disorder in the mind. But we also have to understand how identity or personality comes into play here. You don't need motivation or discipline when you are the person who would take certain actions. A bodybuilder doesn't need motivation to eat healthy. A gamer doesn't need discipline to stare at a screen all day. A writer doesn't need motivation to synthesize ideas. An employee doesn't need discipline to show up to work. All of those could be perceived as positive or negative by a specific type of person. A gamer that stares at a screen all day, that could be considered very bad if you aren't actually in the pursuit of goals that you chose for yourself. And you have to understand, bringing back the idea that your goals are the axis of your suffering, where if you want to be, let's say, a professional gamer, there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to accept the potential decline in health that will come from that, and that is subtracting from other areas of your life so that you can succeed in another area of your life. The same thing goes for like a bodybuilder as the first example, where eating healthy isn't hard or they don't need motivation or discipline to do it, but it could subtract from other areas of their life, like having a social life, going out, letting loose a bit. Certain people value certain things based on their identity and where they focus their attention. So these people do what they do because their survival is at stake. And this isn't physical survival here, this is mental. Animals survive the information in their genetic code. Humans survive the information in their consciousness. Animals survive their physical form, and while we do that too, we've also transcended that plane into the mental plane thanks to self-reflective consciousness, and that meaning, self-reflective meaning that we are aware of ourself, our idea, the mental form that we are attempting to survive. The web of ideas that creates our personality or identity that when threatened feels like a physical threat. And the information that we are fed as children that programs who we are, the things that we know, the known, not the unknown, what is familiar to us, what we're aware of for our survival. And for most people, this is limited to a microscopic fraction of reality that is go to school, get a job, retire at 65. In terms of choosing a career, for others, it's go to church every Sunday. But you get the point here. That's all you know. And so that's the tool for your survival. That's the knowledge that you're using to survive. It's the ideas. When one of those are threatened or questioned, then you can feel that threat response. Where if a bodybuilder that likes to eat healthy only has the option to eat unhealthy food, he's probably not going to be very happy. He's going to be very stressed. He's going to be out of routine. He's going to be in the unknown. He's going to be in the unfamiliar area of life, and he's going to have to deal with it however he can. So back to the point, the information we are exposed to as children and throughout our lives programs our minds to run on certain systems. A system, in brief, is the process of reaching a goal. Obviously, this can get extremely complex, so let's just keep it to that. A system is the process of achieving a goal. So our identity is a web of conscious and unconscious goals that determine the skills we acquire, the interests we learn, and the choices we make in alignment with those goals. When we are programming our mind or programming the systems in our mind, the information roads that our mind operates on, they're all operating towards specific goals relating to survival and other things. And so we're just making decisions every day based on the information that we've collected in the systems that have formed in our minds over time. You are already acting toward layers of unconscious goals every second of the day. They've been conditioned to the point of not requiring conscious thought. You wake up, walk, brush your teeth, maybe, and put on your clothes so that you aren't seen as an outcast. These are all skills that you have developed as a human with the goal of fitting in and surviving in society. This goes deep. The social matrix of goals creates humans that all operate in a similar fashion. With a slightly different goal of society, we could all be walking around naked and communicating with each other by tapping people on the head with a stick. Biological goals clearly influence this. When we don't have clarity on how to achieve a goal, our mind becomes disordered. We become overwhelmed, anxious, and narrow-minded because the challenge of the goal does not match the skill that we have. Our mind starts to decline into chaos. This is known as entropy. Entropy is universal. It doesn't only apply to things like buildings that fall apart with time unless maintained. The structure of your mind or identity is an invisible building. You reverse entropy by making a goal conscious, creating a path to achieve it, and focusing your attention on priority actions that bring results as feedback. These priority actions revolve around daily self-education and practice so that you expose yourself to the information that creates a new identity with time. And then that new identity allows you to perceive certain situations as advantageous towards your conscious goals, and you start to see problems in situations as opportunities. So we'll talk about how to master new skills fast in a future video, but for now, just understand this lesson. You need a plan. There isn't any other way, because if you don't have one, society does, and they've been planning your life for decades. If you don't set your own goals, acquire the skill necessary to take on the challenge, and forge your own path, your destiny will be manhandled by society, and you won't even realize it. Nobody wants to wake up 40 years later wondering where the time went. Now let's discuss the 4 pillars of the good life. This is how we reverse entropy. Or in simpler terms, this is how we reverse the downward spiral into chaos, overwhelm, anxiety when we don't have the clarity to achieve our goals. Becoming multidimensionally jacked is the path to the good life. I talk about this in the video on becoming multidimensionally jacked. You need 4 habits. One that builds your mind, one that builds your body, one that builds your business, one that builds your relationships. The good life is the process of becoming everything you could be. All of these domains of life are interconnected systems that create who you are and reverse entropy in the mind. Tiny improvements are what create an ordered mind. And so just to bring clarity to this, mind, body, business, relationships, that is what composes who you are. Those are the 4 main pillars that we have to peel back, improve, and evolve on a daily basis. Those are the main things that are within your control, and they're also the eternal markets in business. I talk about this in the one-person business videos or any of my business videos, is that the eternal markets, health, wealth, relationships, and happiness, are where most burning problems lie. Those are the most profitable problems to solve. So if you can solve your own problems and sell the solution, that's how you do what you want for a living, by solving the problems that make your life better and selling them to make other people's lives better. That's value exchange. You exchange the solution to a problem that makes someone else's life better in exchange for what you want, which is money. So by adopting a daily habit for each pillar of your life, success becomes inevitable. My question to you, if you aren't building your mind, body, business, and relationships every single day, what are you doing? Here's a genuine question. Is there anything more important than that? Or is everything you do now a distraction? But Dan, I want to enjoy myself and do what I want. Do you understand what enjoyment is when compared to pleasure? Do you realize that human psychology has been mapped over the course of evolution to show that humans have an innate drive to grow, expand, transcend, and create? Enjoyment is found in progress. Doing what you want is often the ego ending the train of thought that would lead to you improving yourself. Because that's what your nature wants, is to improve yourself. You can truly do what you want when you peel back the layers of what you think you want. So I'm not going to give you a super scientific approach to habit formation. I'm just going to give you the only real way to make behavior change seamless with time. So the first step is to align your future with a holistic goal. For those that don't know what holistic means, it means all encompassing, or you're viewing it from the whole of the situation rather than a part of the situation. Big picture. So this requires you to zoom out and see beyond a narrow problem. Like if you're having money problems right now, that's not the only domain of your life that needs improvement. And as a matter of fact, money is interconnected to all other domains of your life. So solving your money problems may not actually happen until you choose to zoom out and change every single domain of your life. In other words, changing who you are on a fundamental level. Goals can't exist without the awareness of a problem. Goals and problems create a frame for your perspective. Your perspective determines what information you perceive as important. A person with money problems and the goals of society will see a new job opportunity as important. A person who has money problems and self-generated goals will see a business opportunity as important. Both people will read a book and interpret it in a completely different way, whether it's the Bible or a self-help book or a fiction book or whatever it is. The problems and goals that are framing your current perspective are going to determine the information that you see as important within that book. You're going to highlight different quotes from someone else because it is going to be relevant and relatable to your situation. So if you're a writer or a creator or a one-person business or anything of that nature, a creator in general, who you are, then you have to understand that this comes into play when you're writing or distributing products or just giving things to other people and you want it to relate to them. You want them to perceive it as important, is you have to understand the problems and goals that are on their mind so you can frame what it is that you're giving to them, writing, products, creations, whatever, videos, so that it does actually register in their awareness. This is marketing and sales as a whole, is just understanding the goals and problems of your target audience and providing clarity in between, or a solution, a product, a system, a how-to video, whatever it is. You help people transform. The first step to changing your life is to become brutally aware of the problems that make you want to change your life. If you're reading this, then you obviously have problems. Everybody does. The big problem is a lack of awareness of your problems. Sit and become negative for a while. Let your mind run wild to create an anti-vision for your future. What is the worst case scenario if you continue with the same mental, physical, financial, and relational actions you are taking? Then use that as a place to toss an anchor into the future. Create a big, vision-generating goal that encapsulates each domain of life. Next, we will bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be with self-education and skill acquisition. So step number 2 after creating a holistic goal is to treat daily self-education as an absolute necessity. Schools are necessary in many cases, but they teach you a fraction of what actually exists in reality. They train you into a compartment of reality, like chemistry, physiology, or literature, and lack regard for the holistic interconnectedness that breeds true intelligence. Without self-education, you go through life with the same narrow identity and perspective as everyone else. You're not a unique individual.
It's crazy. This is crazy. What's really crazy is that I'm listening to Dan Cole, and this is what he said a year ago. And as I do this challenge, I'm understanding, like I've heard this before, maybe once or twice, but it doesn't go through until I actually understand it. I mean, like until you actually doing this is really helping me realize what he's been saying all along. And what I'm doing, my challenge is just creating designs for those customers and also businesses who don't want to create designs and they just want to look at designs, buy the design, and then sell it. Like, just imagine you sell this, like I sell my design right now, like $2 for one design. Someone buys this design, they print it out just like me, however way they want. Maybe they can adjust a few things, whatever, or just as is, because I did create it just as is. It's supposed to be seamless, so it goes around, and they sell it for 20, 30, 40, whatever amount it is, that whatever the market price is, and as long as people are willing to pay for it. So for those people, most likely, well, again, it could be a person just wanting to make a design, somewhere at home like me, or they want to sell it. It saves them time. Like, they would rather just spend $2 just buy a design and make money out of that instead of spending their time to create this, because they don't know some of the skills to do it or prompt. So that's I am solving that problem for those. I guess it could be. I guess I could incorporate this skill or my business, my designs, and turn that into a social media account and learn and practice copywriting, which is what Dan Code teaches. It's pretty much writing, and well, he's more on the writing part instead of the copywriting. Copywriting would be more of a KJ Rainey, and that's like a service on its own, which is still also very good. Anyway, I'm gonna put this. So I updated this, my spreadsheet. Let's see, I have pretty much, I would say I worked maybe 2 hours, 15 minutes, because the other part of that, today's Wednesday, is me tucking the kids in. Yeah. So today I worked about almost 4 hours. I'm not done. The mock-up is done. I finished the mock-up, so I have 29 here. This is my actual point, 1092. For system, 1092 is over here. Wow! I get a full day excursion or premium meal or dining experience. This is fun. I didn't even do most of these other things. Yeah. Well, I gave myself extra sleep. Some other things here. Oh, I did get myself a new mug and tumbler. So that's right there. That's good. I did this. I like to highlight that. It's cool. I did that. I got this one. 1 hour break. Yeah, I've been having these. I don't remember that, but yeah, I got that. Enjoying myself. Not way more than 30-minute break, but you know, just say I did something. I wanna go check out Amazon and see what they have. Let's see. Yeah, I'm doing good. So far I have 342 designs, right? But then imagine, wait a minute. Imagine if I actually listed it, right? Let's say, for example, I actually listed it at 29, then I'll have 371. That means I would be on, well, I'm almost 10 days ahead. Not really, well, no. I'll be 8 days ahead. Let me make sure this right. 342 design plus the extras. Anyway, so I'm a little bit ahead of the game, which is good, and I'm out of design, so I need to start making more. Gotta rethink some things. So this would be the same tomorrow. I finish that. This would be 371. So right now, my listing is showing up at should be 3. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'm at 3. Anyway, okay, guys. The next time I'm back, I will be probably at home. I'm gonna work tomorrow. I'm gonna see if I can do it at I'm gonna meet up with Val tomorrow, and then